Welcome to the deep dive. You send us sources, we pull out the key insights. The idea is to help you get genuinely informed without feeling overwhelmed.
Hmm.
Today, we're diving into something that, well, stirs up a lot for people. Our relationship with money.
Yeah, definitely.
Specifically, we're looking at the mindset of wealth, drawing from listener-provided excerpts from You Are a Badass at Making Money.
It's a really potent area. And the book itself points out how money can feel, squirrely, full of guilt, maybe confusion, lots of old fears.
Absolutely. I think many of us have felt that pull, right?
Yeah.
Seeing someone with a lavish lifestyle than a friend who seems perfectly happy with much less.
Exactly. It highlights that there isn't really one single truth about money. It's more about what feels true and right for you.
So our mission for you in this deep dive is to try and bring some clarity to your own money mindset
Yeah, maybe help unpack some of those hidden limiting beliefs.
and explore ways to build a more empowering perspective. Okay, let's jump in. A really core idea in the book is this contrast. Scarcity versus abundance mindset.
Right. And what's great is how the book uses these really relatable examples of scarcity in action.
Like what?
Well, things like constantly hunting for free stuff, food or drinks, or going way out of your way to save like 50 cents on parking.
Yeah, yeah, I think we've all seen or maybe even done versions of that.
Yeah.
Using duct tape for repairs, elaborate plans to avoid buying a meal when out with friends.
Totally. It's that underlying hum of not enough, that constant worry.
And the author has this big aha moment, realizing all the time and energy spent on worrying about not having money, on cutting tiny corners,
Hmm.
could have actually been put into making money.
Yeah,
It's like where your focus goes, the energy flows.
that's exactly it. And this connects directly to another huge idea in the book, that our realities are, in a way, make-believe. They're shaped by our beliefs.
How so?
Well, if deep down you believe money is, say, evil or just incredibly hard to come by, that belief itself can actually, create that experience for you. Scarcity becomes this kind of self-fulfilling cycle.
That makes sense, especially when you think about the subconscious mind. Its main job is survival, keeping us safe.
Right.
So if we subconsciously connect pursuing wealth with some kind of danger, like fear of rejection or big scary change,
Yeah.
it might just subtly hold us back,
Yeah.
keep us in that familiar zone, even if it's not where we truly want to be. The book uses that little prince analogy, guarding our comfort zone.
Yeah, protecting that world we know.
Yeah.
And the book has that great line about how our comfort zones are often lovingly decorated with your lifelong collection of favorite excuses.
Yes. Those stories we repeat about why we can't do something, why we shouldn't aim higher.
And this ties into clinging to this, illusion of earthly security.
Mm-hmm.
People might stay in jobs they hate or situations that don't serve them because they're afraid to lose that perceived safety net.
But that very clinging can prevent growth, prevent them from actually reaching for what they desire, financially or otherwise. So the book suggests a balance. Plan responsibly, sure, but don't let fear shut down possibilities.
Exactly. Act as if you've got a long, happy life ahead, but also give yourself permission to, go for those things your heart truly desires now. Don't let fear paralyze you.
Okay, so that's scarcity versus abundance. Let's shift to another key theme, the incredible power of our thoughts and beliefs.
Yes, this is fundamental to the book's message. It lays out this cycle. Thoughts spark emotions.
Right.
Emotions drive actions. And those actions create your reality. It's all interconnected.
There's a story in the book, isn't there, about St. Nicholas's Day.
Yeah, the author's childhood belief was so strong, and then the crushing disappointment when the expected gifts didn't appear. It's a simple example, but it really shows how much our beliefs shape our experience.
And the book actually suggests we can consciously rewrite negative thoughts.
Exactly. Take a thought like making money is always a struggle and actively rephrase it to something more empowering, like I enjoy the process of creating wealth, or I make making money fun.
Even if you don't fully buy it at first.
Even then, just the act of shifting the thought can subtly shift the emotion attached to it, and that has a ripple effect over time.
Interesting. And this connects to the idea of the universe as energy.
Right. The concept is that everything is energy, including our thoughts. So our focused thoughts can potentially interact with this universal energy field to help manifest what we focus on.
So unwavering focus is key. regardless of what's happening right now.
That's the idea. The book gives these powerful examples, people overcoming huge physical limitations, people rising from extreme poverty to achieve great success. It really hammers home the power of holding that vision, that belief, no matter the current evidence.
It really makes you think about how important it is to be aware of our thoughts, our beliefs, even the words we use all the time.
Absolutely. Choosing them consciously so we don't get stuck in those negative loops. The book even touches on how language shapes perception, like our concept of time itself.
Okay, so if thoughts and beliefs are that powerful, how do we bridge the gap to actual results? This brings us to taking action, right? And dealing with obstacles.
Yes, and this is crucial. The book warns against getting stuck in analysis paralysis, just thinking about limiting beliefs forever without actually doing anything.
You need both.
Yeah.
The inner work and the outer action.
Precisely. In fact, the book argues that sometimes the best way to find your limiting beliefs is by taking those huge, scary leaps into the unknown. That's when they tend to surface.
Like Sandra's story in the book, moving from living in a truck
To owning a beach house and becoming an actress.
Yeah, her transformation was directly tied to shifting her beliefs and taking incredibly bold action based on those new beliefs.
The book also pushes us to look at where else we might be clinging to a false sense of security, maybe not just with money.
And how letting go of that can be so freeing. There's also that interesting point about language replacing words like want, which implies lack.
With things like have, create, I'm grateful for. Exactly, it's a subtle shift, but it reframes your energy from lack to possession or creation. Same with being careful about saying, I know, it can sometimes shut down curiosity and learning.
Right. It comes back to that idea. You have to want the dream more than you want the drama, the comfort of the familiar struggle.
Perfectly put. You need that desire to outweigh the comfort of your excuses.
Okay, so we're working on mindset, taking action. The next layer the book adds is aligning all this with your authentic self.
Yeah, this is really key. There's that funny story about the goats on the farm.
Oh, right, the destructive goats.
Yeah. The point being, living things act according to their nature. For us, regarding money, it means understanding what truly motivates us, what our genuine values are around wealth.
And not just adopting someone else's definition of success.
Exactly, like the story of the ad exec who loved being an MC.
But didn't think he could charge for it.
Right, until he saw someone less skilled getting paid. It's about valuing your own natural talents and passions, seeing their potential worth.
It connects to that other powerful idea. Worrying is praying for stuff you don't want.
Constantly focusing on the negative can actually draw more negativity in. But the flip side is, if you're a good worrier, you have strong focus.
Huh. Right, you just need to redirect that focus muscle towards positive outcomes.
Precisely. It's like the story about the tuna cans.
Looking for the blue ones you used to buy.
And completely missing the red ones right in front of you. Old thinking patterns can blind us to current opportunities.
So the message is, you're in charge of your reality. Perception is key.
Yes, and emotions are the catalyst. The book calls them the switch that turns thoughts into physical reality. Feel the emotions, yes, but don't get stuck wallowing in the negative ones.
Okay, building on that inner alignment, the book then moves into faith and gratitude. How do those fit in?
Well, faith, as the book presents it, really strengthens self-confidence and that abundance mindset by shifting focus away from perceived lack and towards, well, infinite possibility. It helps you believe things are possible even when you can't see the immediate path.
Like this stand-up comedy analogy.
Yeah, the grit it takes to get on stage, face potential rejection, but keep going because you have faith in yourself and your material.
And the author shared a personal story about holding firm on a business deal because of faith.
Exactly, believing in the desired outcome even when things looked uncertain. And gratitude is the other side of that coin, being thankful now, even when things are tough.
Trusting that it's all for your growth.
That's the perspective. Gratitude attracts more good things, while desperation or constant complaining tends to push them away.
Like the interior designer visualizing and being grateful for clients before they arrived.
Yes. Anchoring that feeling, that belief in abundance proactively. It's a powerful practice.
All right, so mindset, action, alignment, faith, gratitude. What's next? Decisive action.
Yes, making clear decisions. The story Touching the Void is used here an extreme example of how mindset and pure tenacity can conquer seemingly impossible odds.
And the point about the word decide, coming from Latin to cut off.
Right. True decision means cutting off other options, eliminating backup plans, full commitment.
It tackles that fear of missing out, FOMO, that can paralyze decision-making.
Yeah.
And it emphasizes that time is ticking.
Yeah, don't waste it dithering. The book suggests chunking down time, focusing intensely in shorter bursts to be more productive.
And while taking action, keep holding that mental picture of the goal.
Yes, vividly imagine the desired life, the money flowing, and infuse it with that faith and gratitude we talked about.
Yeah.
Importantly, do your best right now. Even if your current situation isn't the dream, bring a good attitude to it.
That makes sense. Now, what about the external world, our environment?
Ah, yes. Creating a supportive environment is huge in the book.
The author's move to Barcelona example.
Exactly. It shows how powerfully our surroundings, the place, the culture, the energy can shape our habits and possibilities. The book encourages you to sort of test drive your future
Yeah.
by immersing yourself in environments associated with your goals. Go hang out where your successful peers hang out, visit places you aspire to live in.
Even small steps count, right?
Yeah.
Like the story of moving into that tiny garage in Venice Beach.
Totally. It wasn't the mansion, but it was a step towards the desired energy and lifestyle. It shifted things.
So consciously making your physical space feel good, inspiring, even with small changes.
Absolutely. And just as important, maybe even more so, is surrounding yourself with the right people.
High-frequency people, the book calls them.
Yeah, people who uplift you, support your dreams, boost your energy. The book advises being almost militant about protecting your energy from negativity or draining influences.
Building that strong support network, friends, maybe an accountability partner, a mentor.
Essential. And being willing to let go of relationships or even things that don't serve your highest good anymore. Maybe even starting a mastermind group with like-minded positive people.
Okay, so that covers the mindset and environment. Does the book get into practical, like how-to steps for actually making more money?
It does. There's a chapter frame, sort of like practical advice, breaking it down into 3 main scenarios.
Which are?
Starting your own business, growing an existing one, or finding a job that pays well and fulfills you.
Okay, so for starting a business.
It highlights the unlimited potential, but also the initial hard work and isolation. Key things are: find what excites you, spot needs in the market, do your numbers to ensure it can be profitable,
Crucial.
and get good at selling. You have to be able to sell your idea, your product, yourself.
And for growing an existing business.
Suggestions include getting a coach or mentor, learning to delegate effectively, promoting from within if you can, researching industry standards to ask for better pay, or even redesigning your current role.
Proactive steps. And for finding a job.
Create a really vivid, emotional picture of that dream job. Use positive language and thoughts aligned with getting it. And just keep going. Persevere.
And across all paths, the advice is consistent. Consider a coach and open new bank accounts specifically to welcome wealth.
Yeah, those are recurring themes, symbolic actions to reinforce the mindset.
Beyond the practical money side, the book talks a lot about inner wealth, too.
Definitely. Like the story about Prince getting booed early on.
Right, showing that external reactions don't define your actual worth or potential.
Exactly. And it stresses daily practices, like meditation, to quiet that mental noise and connect with your own inner guidance and greatness.
Affirmations come up again here, too. The power of self-talk.
Hugely important. Plus, practicing patience, being present, recognizing that small, high-energy choices add up.
Like the story of the niece flying alone. Taking action even when scared builds confidence.
Yes, action builds the confidence, not the other way around. And celebrating wins, big or small, reinforces that positive momentum.
And compassion for yourself and others.
Key for forgiveness, letting go of resentment or negativity that holds you back. Louise Hay's story is mentioned as a powerful example of healing through forgiveness.
So practical things like doing nice things for others, practicing patience, even using body language.
Yeah, power posing, standing tall, it can actually shift your internal state. And reflecting on profound ideas, like Marianne Williamson's Our Deepest Fear.
Okay, bringing it towards the end, the final major theme seems to be tenacity. Just sheer persistence.
Absolutely critical. There's that story of the woman starting her finance company, risking everything, facing huge obstacles.
Of just refusing to give up.
Yeah.
That unwavering determination.
Right. Or the anecdote about the brutal Grand Canyon hike.
And suddenly being able to run when a really motivating reward appeared.
Exactly. It shows we often have reserves we don't even know about until our why becomes strong enough. We can push past perceived limits.
The book lists habits of successful people.
Yeah, things like taking calculated risks, sticking with decisions, setting boundaries, giving back, working smart, not just hard, having some kind of spiritual practice.
And it gives tips for building new habits, like expecting discomfort.
Yes, anticipate it. Find an accountability partner. Keep visualizing the positive outcome to pull you through the hard parts.
Like Miller Brewing, adapting during Prohibition course correction.
Mm-hmm. Being flexible, finding new ways when challenges arise. The final point is really encouraging. As your mindset grows, things that seemed terrifying before start to look small.
Like that childhood memory of a huge castle that turns out to be not so big when you revisit it as an adult.
Exactly that feeling. Your perspective shifts.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive on the mindset of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we've covered a lot. The power of beliefs,
Aligning with your true self.
taking action consistently,
Cultivating faith and gratitude.
the importance of your environment, both physical and social.
And finally, that essential ingredient, tenacity.
And it really comes across that shifting your money mindset is it's a very personal journey.
Absolutely. No one-size-fits-all answer. It's about self-discovery, making conscious choices that resonate for you.
So we really hope you'll take some time to think about which specific ideas or stories from our chat today really struck a chord with you.
Yeah, consider how you might start applying even just one small principle in your own life, maybe starting today.
And maybe that leads to our final thought for you to ponder. Okay. Now that you've unpacked some of these ideas about belief, action, and energy around money, what's one small but potentially significant shift you feel inspired to make in your relationship with money, starting today?
That's a great question to sit with.
We genuinely love to hear your thoughts if anything comes up for you. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.